My iMac mic threshold is fix that threshold down a little bit. How about maybe like this? Might work a little bit better. All right. So today I haven't live streamed in a while. I'm listening to a podcast. I haven't live streamed in a while. Today I want to do something I've been talking with a lot of different people about, and I just wanted to get what the process looks like on record. And basically, I'm working with an incredible client who's letting me live stream this, Earthrise, Dan Hammer, Earthrise. So very appreciative to them for letting me live stream this work that I'm doing for them. But basically, we're doing a data visualization where we're showing the effects of wind and potentially pollution carried by wind on people. And so we're combining a couple of different visualizations. The first piece of it is this like dot density, racial demographic dot density map. And basically what we're doing is we're taking the census tracts and we're filling them with colors that represent different races from the census, and we're trying to show who lives where, basically. And I added some sliders, so you can, right now every dot represents 250 people, but you can make it represent more, so you can sort of see the really dense places show up, and the rest of New York kind of disappears, and you can bring it down so that I think you can bring it down to 100 at the very bottom end, so a dot represents 100 people. I'm already breaking it by making it do a bunch of math and a live stream at the same time. So let's try that out. Maybe I'll open this in Chrome. Shout outs to Safari for not loving to do JavaScript. All right, let's try this out. So yeah, I also have this little graphic of what it's made of. All right, so I was talking through the first part, right? So we have, do I zoom in? We have our little dot density map I was talking about. The second piece that we have is this little wind visualization. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. I actually have another notebook where I have more sliders to play with on it. Let's see if I can grab that. Wind visualization. All right, this is a little bit of a thing. So basically, as quick as I can do it, there's this super fun interface that NOAA, I think, gives you. It's the National Digital Forecast Database. They have a weird little API. It's a whole thing. But basically what I'm doing to get this data is you go in and you ask for data for a subgrid, right? So you put in the center, latitude and longitude, and then you tell it how far out to draw the grid, and then you give it a resolution of how many points to get in the grid, and then you can ask for all sorts of fun data for every point within that grid, like sky cover, probability of tornadoes, but most importantly to us, you can get wind speed and wind direction. So what I've done is I've gone in and done that for the area around where I live, actually. And you submit, and then you get back this really funky XML, where it looks like this, right? And it's a special kind of weather XML that my normal XML parser doesn't really love. So I took I modified, I think, I forget where I found the original script, but I modified the XML parser so that we can get the latitude and longitude data out of it, turn it into, little wind points. Basically, each point has a latitude and longitude and a wind speed and a wind direction in degrees. It's a whole thing we can get into maybe. But basically, you end up with, here's my little grid of points that show like where my latitudes and longitudes are. Right? I asked for a grid around where I live. And then you can draw little arrows that show where the wind is blowing from those points. And then I have little numbers. So it's blowing 26 knots, I think, southeast. And you can make the arrows bigger if you want to have a lot of fun. Anyway, all of that is to say, we wanted to make a wind sort of force layout visualization. So this is my stab at that. And there's lots of different things you can play with here. Like you can add a lot more nodes. You can make it go a little faster. You can make the nodes move a little slower, faster. I think I turned this up to make it slower. Yeah, yeah, you can make it slower so they come in. You can make, I think I have one for the node size, maybe. Definitely have the node opacity. You can turn the node opacity down, turn it all the way up. Anyway, this is a whole bunch of fun. You can sort of watch the wind blow or whatever. But what we're trying to do is sort of combine these two things, right? So the goal here is that you have your sort of demographic map laying underneath, and then the wind blows, and let me reset it. As the wind blows, you can see the people who the wind blows by, right? You can see the people who are impacted from some source of pollution or yeah, basically air pollution. You might want to do this with rivers or hydrography down the line, something like that, but that's our goal. So basically what I've done, and this is a process that happens a lot in data visualization, what I've done is I've made a bunch of prototypes in Observable, and I've gone to my client, we've talked about them, I've used it myself to sort of play around with different parameters that I might want to play with. That's not right at all. They're too big. They're bumping into each other. Play with the different parameters that sort of inform what I might want to control or do with the final piece, right? So the prototypes are in a place that we want them, and now what we need to do is turn it into a thing that we can sort of ship and publish. And I love Observable, but there's a level of polish that is needed for data visualization projects where you are publishing them for like a news setting or like a non-academic, non-coder setting, right? So we're going to package all of that up in a way that's sort of easy to publish, easy to push to another server, so we can, you know, make lots of different versions of it if we want to have lots of different source locations and track the pollution that goes from them. One of the things that we need to automate is this, how we get our XML, because like I showed you before, this is a process of going through a web interface. One thing we might want to do is sort of recreate what this web interface does. It's kind of weird REST API. I think it's like gets and sets. One fun thing on this page, it sort of talks about all of the REST API it offers, and then if you go down to the bottom, it goes, what if I prefer not to use a RESTful API? It doesn't even say API. What if I prefer not to use a RESTful to access NDFD web services? And it says, please visit the following web page. And if you click on it, it's my favorite thing. It's the same web page, the web page you were on. It's pretty good. It doesn't really help you. It's kind of like this. But, you know, what are you going to do? Anyway, so we were talking about the best way to get that data. Oh, what have I done? I think it added a whole bunch of elements at once, so it looks like there was a wind explosion in southeastern New York. All right, so let's start the process of moving this into view, and what that really means is let's start the process of writing a little to-do list. So just breaking it down, let's make canvas elements for each map. Let's make this even better. Make canvas element for demographic map. Make canvas element. I should have said element. Or wind map. Pause it. That's like draw the owl and then do it. Kind of written out. I need to think about. There's probably some subtasks that go into this. I will. Yeah. Before we do any of this, we need to add all. I don't know how to put it out. All boundary data to the project, and I want to add all demographic data to the project. That all seems good to me. Oh. Add wind XML, sample wind XML to the project. I know this is fun watching me write my to-do list, but this is the key. Everybody's like all about writing code. Now it's all about writing the perfect to-do list, so you don't forget. Is there anything I'm forgetting? I guess add some way to expose sliders for params. Like, I still want to keep some of this ability to play around with the parameters. You know what I mean? Maybe I only add, like, maybe there's like a dev mode. Add URL dev mode to expose expose param controls. It's a fun idea. I like that idea. All right, anything, and this is my little diagram, mine, I made it. It comes from, there's a really cool notebook that does it. Where is it? It's like observable notebook diagram, dependency diagram. Notebook visualizer. So I basically just fed my notebook into the notebook visualizer. And you get a little sort of chart of all the things that it does. So basically I take my people per point, I have my census tracts, I filter my census tracts to New York, I get my shapes, my county shapes, which are really census tract shapes. I sort of combine them. This is all fun stuff. So I need to recreate a lot of what happens here in Vue because Observable adds a lot of things that make it easy to prototype. And now I want to sort of, how do I carve them in whatever is one step below stone, wood? I carve them in wood. Now I need to carve them in stone in the other, in Vue, like in VS Code. All right, I didn't even talk about it, but I also got accepted to GitHub Copilot, which is very exciting to me. So I'm going to be able to have a little AI help me write this. I've tried it a little bit on some other projects, but I haven't had it yet. I haven't yet started a project from scratch with it where it really has not, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it works like. It's like I have a new buddy in the shop. That's this guy, new little buddy, active like, yeah, Copilot. That's what we're looking for. So what are we looking on here? I already did the terminal. I already did what you would do to create a new Vue project offline. You just do Vue create, and then I did my like pollution thing. I'll just show you what that looks like. I'm not actually going to do it, but basically you do Vue create, and then it gives you a whole bunch of options of what you might need for your new project. I have like a little selection of things that I use commonly, so that's what I'm not going to re-render. Yeah, there we go. Basically, I have Vue 2, Babel, Router, Vuex, ESLint, all that stuff. Makes it very easy. It's like, I don't know, it's what makes me happy. Oops. So, we're not going to make a new project, but we are in one. So we're going to do npm run serve. And then let's see what we're working with here. It's just like the base Vue project. I don't think I've done even one thing to it. So localhost 8080. Yes, it's a Vue project, what fun. So I think that is app because I have router. I can just get rid of the nav for now. Nobody needs that. And then we have the router view. So let me open the router. We have home and about. I don't really need an about. We'll just do home with a home component. So this is all in home. No, what the fuck is all this shit then? Let's just do hello database. Ooh, so unhappy. Okay, I didn't use hello world. I didn't want it. What else is the problem? Can't close. Oh, I made it H1. Oh, I didn't. Fair, totally fair. Hello world. Yeah, no, I didn't. We're just ripping things apart. Tremendous. So we have our view, and then we have components. We don't need our hello world component, but what we might need is a, where's my to-do list? I already lost it. Readme. Put it down here so I can remember. Add all boundary, all right, I skipped ahead. Let's add our data, public data. So all of our data is already in our observable notebook, so let's just steal it right out of there. Tremendous. Killing it. So let's see, download. Oh, great. Oh, and this is census tracts just for New York. So I might need to get it from more states. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Put this in data. Put this in data. So trying to open it. Don't do that. They're enormous. You silly goose. Stop it. So NHGI. Where are my census tracts? Oh, it added them too. I'm trying to open it. Don't do that. All right, a little big on the font size over here, maybe. Okay, so we have census tracts. That's for the wind and demographic data. And then I need my XML. That's the one piece I'm missing. So I have the string here. Just grab this and do sample wind data XML. Paste it, we don't need that stuff. All the way at the top. Yes, we don't need to declare an XML string. We're just writing weird XML and this weird schema that doesn't make any sense. Like one of the first O'Reilly books I ever got was like a book on how to use XML, and I was like, this is never going to be useful. Was that like 12 years ago? Anyway, here's how our weather stuff works. Cool. All right, gotta check the Twitter, standard stuff. So we have our to-do list, we have our XML is in there. I'm gonna have to figure out how to parse all this shit. Did I break everything? Oh yeah, we're back in Safari where everything is broken. Let's see. There are fun things in Twitter. No, let me go to my live stream. It's all right. It's all right. We're just doing this for the funsies. Let's see. Back to Chrome. So let's load all of our data, not in our home view, but in a new component that we will call demographic map. Demographic map.view. And then perform some sort of magic to get a view template in there. Talk about that some other time. Be sick though, huh? Yeah, we're really moving in style. I'm with the big bucks. This would be our demographic map. I don't think it's going to be an H1. I think it's probably going to be a canvas with a ref that is map and map canvas. Look at this. GitHub Copilot's trying to help by giving me a width and a height. I can accept it. You're killing it. You're killing it, my guy. How do you open the Copilot suggestion? Oh yeah, there you go. So we can sort of watch it, think a little bit. That's fun. We should put it down here. Great. Potent with fire. So on mounted, what are we going to do? We're probably going to copy in some canvas stuff. If I had to guess, we're also going to need D3. It's just listening. It's just like you're probably going to want to do some map stuff, my guy. All right. All right, calm down, GitHub Copilot. I haven't thought everything yet, but we're not totally wrong here. Not doing. I don't know. Unmounted. What do we want to do? Well, we need our data first. That's in my to-do list. What formats? We have JSON, GeoJSON, CSV, and Wind. So this is great. Let's ask GitHub Copilot. We're gonna do load census GeoJSON as object. Fucking hit me, Copilot. Let's go. Let's go. Figure it out. No, see, it's like, I don't know what you're trying to do. It'll be like, GeoJSON data. It may. All right, I'll try this a different way. We're gonna make our data objects first, and it's gonna be, stop it. Stop it, GitHub Copilot. You're so funny and silly. It'll be active state census tracts. Real wordy, I know, but it's good, and that's gonna be a JSON. It's gonna be an object, I guess. What the fuck? That's actually not a terrible idea. Data, but we'll call it census data. Census data. That's another object. Not wrong. Wind data raw XML. That's a string, and then we're gonna have wind data parsed. That's gonna be an object. Yes, that's all right. Now unmounted, we're gonna. I'm just gonna try and teach it. Load GeoJSON to active state census tracks. Fucking hit me. No, that's what I said. Damn you. All right. All right. How do you load GeoJSON? I think I'll do d3.json, and then it would be like. First of all, I need. No, stop it. That's fun. It's suggesting census tracks. From GitHub. That's pretty ballsy. You gotta respect it, Copilot. But no, we have our own. It's in data. We might need the slash data slash new 36. Yes, that is exactly what I want. 36 census tracks dot JSON. How do you finish? Ooh, love it. Ooh, so good. Ooh, yes, yes, tremendous job, GitHub Copilot. Wow. Wow. A lot of fun. Code with a robot is super duper fun. All right, I fucking introduced an error. Maybe that was me. It's almost definitely got to be my fault. Function data, and then no, you have to finish. What are you doing, you fucking maniac? GitHub Copilot. It's weird to fix a robot's code. There we go. That should be good. And now if we pull up our view inspector, we may or may not have our GeoJSON showing up on our map component. Why is it loading home? Oh, I forgot to add this to anything. It's not being loaded anywhere. I'm a moron. All right. Do import demographic. Yes. Ooh, yes. Oh, you're so good. GitHub Copilot. Love you. This is great. E3 is not defined. That makes sense. Graphic component has been registered but not used. Oh, also valid. Oop. Camera resolve D3. Did I not npm install it? That sounds like something I'd do. Npm install save D3. All right, I tweet about how much I love using GitHub Copilot because it's so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Check those notifications. You know what I mean? Great. Love it. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. So now I have emails. All right, I might take a break in a second. Can't resolve D3 because I didn't install it. Let's npm run serve again. And maybe we'll have a canvas, a demographic map with the right data inside of it. Written as co-written by GitHub Copilot. We have our home. Can I make this bigger? And so we have our home, we have our demographic map. Did I do my data wrong? Sound right? That's a function, that's an object? What the fuck are you talking about? All right, I'm just gonna make these all null. And then this active state census tracks should be filled with data at some point. But it ain't. What if I take data away? And it's also none underscore. And it's also, I think that's all our problems, maybe? All of our problems somehow. Look at our reps. We have our map canvas, though. I can do one thing, right? So on load, is it doing any network requests? Is it? Yeah, it is. Look. And then what happens if you go to it? Oh, it don't let you go to it, does it? No, it does. Look, look, it worked great for me. So what's your problem? You're having trouble over here? Can't make the request? Check the console. Oh boy. I mean, .bind is not a function. Oh yeah, no. Knock it off. That was another GitHub Copilot fuck up. Does it learn when I delete its code? Do you think it feels bad? Do you think it's ego-free when it writes its code? So the coding in the future looks a lot like a robot writing your code for you and then you fixing it. Is there an error? What's happening? No errors, no console logs. Also no data. No data. I'm gonna comment out everything but where we're expecting data, because we're expecting data in active state census tracks only. And it knows too much. Yeah, see that? That should have some JSON in it. Step active state census tracks equals data. Just console log the data. What are we doing here? Yeah, yes, great. Yes, thank you. GitHub Copilot. All right, still no. Anything on the console? Nothing. Is mounted getting called? Should this be activated? Yeah, that's what. See the question mark? that's exactly how I think. Activated? Question mark? Well, this seems like a basic, truly basic thing that I'm fucking up at all about. Check out Hello World. What else got a mounted? Who's got a nice example of a mounted? Maybe I'm doing it like old school. No, I feel like I mean, are we getting mounted? Mounted demographic. A little brief phone break. Pretty standard stuff. Oh, what happened? I had a little view where I could see myself. I took it away. There we go. Let's see. All right, I might take a little break in 2 minutes. If I can get this data to load in 2 minutes, that would be fantastic. All right, so this is our real question. Is it getting mounted? Look, it's getting mounted. The things are getting called. Maybe this isn't how you do d3.json anymore. Watch me get this wrong. Well, I did it. Do I do it here? No, I do it with... See, this is like what? One of the things that Observable makes easy for you. That's annoying. Can you just tell me d3 dot... Yes. Song, how do it work? You put the URL and then the callback. Oh no, you do it like this. What the fuck? This is how you're supposed to do it? No, there's no way. Really? GitHub Copilot, I have to delete all your code. Do something like this. Yep, that's right. Parts. How's this? Anybody like this? URL is not defined. Valid. Completely valid. /data/36 census tracks. That's not the name of my file. Why are you suggesting that? You mean that request is not a function? What? I have to use d3.json. That's what I really want to do. d3.json. URL. Callback. Isn't that like what it just was? Based on URL callback. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, dude. All right, so it's mounted, and then D3 JSON is never called ever. Is the vibe I'm getting right now? Yeah, I might need a break. Might need a little break. I'll be back in like, 5, 10, 10-ish minutes. We'll solve what's making my data not load. I bet it'll be quick once I get my head ready. Like, you just need a little walk outside. BRB.
To get wet.
People were back. Took a little break, made a little coffee, a little espresso. That's how we make database happen. Powered by espresso. All right, so I was trying to think of reasons why our data might not load. So let's get. I was suspecting maybe GitHub Pilot is totally incapable of its job. So let's just destroy essentially everything it wrote and see if things get better. So mounted demographic map works great. However, our D3 JSON, see. JSON D3.json6. What are you talking about? Okay, I guess we'll do it this funky way again, and then we'll do this stuff. All right, so we're just trying to get our JSON to load. See, it says request is not a function. What version of D3 or should be working with? 7? Oh my god. 7 D3.json. Oof. What? Turns a promise? I don't know why we have both of these. It's a little crazy town. But what are you talking about? So maybe we can do const data equals d3.json URL. This stuff. Yes, equals data. This is funky and weird and I don't like it. It's sort of like you kind of want to, I feel like you'd await it. I don't know. The demographic, we still don't have any data. We have a promise in here. Copilot. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Thank you. Tremendous. Well, fuck you then. So it's still the promise? Talking about. Great job, GitHub Copilot. Great job. Thank you. I helped. All right, so now one of our datas is loading. Which is that? It's the GeoJSON. Great. So I added the boundary data. This is, I haven't seen anything over there. So I'm just going to close that. Get rid of Let's see. Add boundary. Now add the demographic, which is an issue. All right, so we'll do this. What is this? I think this is CSV. Great. v3.csv. Excuse me. Don't need public, but we do need data. And we do then yeah, that is what I want actually. Thank you. That's a fun way to code. Sort of gesture at what you want to do, and then the robot sort of takes it. I like it. All right, it's taking forever. Oh, it's because this track data is enormous. Almost definitely. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, it's 85,000 items. Our objects are pretty heavy too. They have like a ton of data. I should be a smart person and just select out. All right, that's going to be a thing. Filter demographic data to only variables needed for is. I don't like that GitHub Copilot is trying to help me write my to-do list. That feels like a step too far. But what are you gonna do? Basically, what we have is for every census tract, like this is like a tract in Autauga County, which I believe is in Alabama, question mark, Connecticut, it's not. Anyway, we have a bunch of these factors. You see U7B001, and actually in my original, one of these notebooks, I have the definitions. Yes, U7B001 is the total population in that census tract. And then you have the different races, U7B003, so on and so forth. And those are the things that we use to generate our dots, these dots. So that's good. We're sort of getting our to-do list done. We have boundary data, we have demographic data. I'm not going to filter it down yet, but I will want to do that. And now we need to import our wind XML, which is extra complicated because I made a custom parser, and it's going to be weird and interesting to implement that again. Let's pull out where I did that. It was in this notebook. So what I did is I got the XML as a string. I wonder what's the best way to do that. V3 request data / sample wind data.xml. It's not, I guess, XML string might be what comes next. Yeah, that is what I want actually. Not really though. Who added this? It like introduces bugs as it makes suggestions, which I think is fun, just to keep you on your toes. Make sure you don't get too comfortable with the robot. I mean, maybe they added that so that we can keep our jobs or whatever. Loading this enormous data set. I wish that I wasn't. It's a CSV though. We might do some fun CSV kit stuff. That'd be like a cool little intermission. We can process our I'll make this bigger so that more people can read it. All right, so we're in our project, and let's go to our data, public data. And what we have is this enormous census tract file. And I guess the boundaries are enormous too, but all of them together are really making the Vue app unhappy. But we can do a CSV kit, cut columns. I think you can just specify the columns that you want. Google's like, you keep going to this page constantly? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Print only the names of all columns. Extract, that's what I want. The first and third, I don't want that. I want to extract by column name. There we go. CSV cut. You do. Okay, great. Do I have CSV cut? You. CSV cut. C, and then I need to remember all of the things that I need. I made a little object that has all of them. Here we go. All right, so it's going to be, basically what I'm doing is I'm copying the keys of the columns that I'm going to want to pull out. We're going to pull out use capital U 7B00 1 2 1 U7B003 U7B04 7B005 U7B006. I feel like GitHub Copilot would help me with this. U7B007 U7B008. And then what? You feed, you give it the CSV. So it's the CSV. Yes, that one. And then you pipe it into a thing. It'd be like NHJS trimmed.csv. What? What the fuck kind of error is the police specified? File's not. Oh my god. I update CSV kit. I think I do it through brew. We're going to involve brew. Ooh, it's pip. We'll do pip install upgrade CSV. Let's see what's going on. Oh my god. A lot of stuff. All right, let's try this one more time. Your file is not UTF. Use the, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, CSV kit, I just want you to work for me, please. Oh, why? Why? All right, classic development. We're just gonna Google the entire error and see what the internet has to say. All right, search CSV kit UTF-8 sig. Yes, UTF. Whoa. Can you move the cursor and no. All right, so back to the beginning, you do C, and then we'll do CSV cut E UTF-8 sig. So can I open? I can. Can I open the trimmed one? This one. Oh, it did it. Oh, it did it. So it's just giving me a weird error despite being awesome and great. But I forgot some columns. I need the geo ID. Otherwise, I'm not going to have anything to bind to. Let's see. What is the geo ID called in the CSV? Let's see. It's probably just called GIS join. Love it. Really great. Let's do GIS and join and geocode. Let's see. yes, join and geocode. All caps. Do the thing. And then open the CSV. Oh, did it. So now instead of, I wonder what the size difference is. Oh my God, we turned a 34 megabyte file into a 2.5 megabyte file because we're good at our jobs. GitHub Copilot could never, it could never. So let's load the trimmed version, trim, and see what we get. First of all, our app seems much happier. Still have to load all those boundaries, but it's hard to get away from that. So we have our boundary. It seems like we got less rows, like rows. It's kind of weird. I love it. Cool. So we loaded our data. Oh, and I did the thing on my to-do list. All right, how do we load this win data? We have the spot for it, but not actually. So we're gonna raw XML. We're trying to make the raw XML the return of this request. And then we'll parse it ourselves. We don't want D3's help parsing it because it's a weird schema that D3 is not going to understand. There's no D3.request. There's almost certainly a D3.text. Maybe that's what I want, D3.text. Hey, that looks like it. Let's check our view. It should be a string. It should be a raw XML string, which is our XML. Hey, did it. All right, looks like our data's all loaded. See, little coffee breaks are important. Canvas component for demographic map. I did that. I don't know if I should make a whole other entire component. Call this demographic map canvas, and then we'll just call these. I hate renaming components. We're just gonna call this in map. We're ballers. Map, that's right. Nothing knows where anything is anymore. Let's rename this. Not demographic map, it's just the map. Then we gotta rename it inside of it. It's just a map. Say it with me, it's just a map. Oh, one last place. It's just a map. Say it with me. It's just a map. Love it. Herlo Dataviz, I don't think is doing a lot for us, to be real, but let's add a little style. Scoped, cool. Our style gonna be? It's gonna outline our canvas for border. Border, keep it solid, pink. Do we have a canvas? I guess any canvases. I guess it's scoped though. We'll put this where we actually keep our canvases. Rid of this. Where do we keep our canvases? We keep them in map. So let's add this style to map. Let's also make it scoped. So let's see a little pink border around something, maybe. So I'm hoping to see a little pink canvas. Oh, hey, there we go. So we have one canvas for our demographic map, and then we will probably need, that's not what I want that. Need another, excuse me, need another canvas for our wind map. It's gonna be our wind map canvas, pretty stuff here. Wind map, put them right next to each other. Love that idea. The other things we're gonna need in our data, we're gonna need our projection. Make that null, and then map state is gonna be like a little object that is zoom 1 center, and that'll be like a little left. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Map state is kind of a terrible name. Map zoom state is a slightly better, less terrible, I would say. So we're staring at blank boxes. You might notice. Let's get some maps showing up. Good thing I already wrote this code in Observable because that would be a little funky. So let's make our methods. It's all going to be methods. All of our cells will be methods. This is the secret sauce right here. It's not that secret. It's not that saucy, but it's what we're going to do. All of our functions will become methods, and all of our variables will become datas. That's all pretty straightforward. Here's how we draw our composite canvas. How do we draw our demographic map? There's a function for it. It's called make map. Great. Where's that? Make map. Make map. It's a function. This is a lot. This is a lot. Make map with simulation. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the good stuff. All right. So should that be unmounted? We'll just do a draw map rather than make map because we're cool people. Canvas will be equal to this dot refs dot. Which map are we drawing? Demographic map. We'll do draw a demographic map. That is what we're doing right now. So we make our canvas. Got a canvas. Love it. Everybody loves canvases. We're gonna make our context. You're so smart. Yes, thank you, GitHub Copilot. We have a width. Yes, we should. I bet we should have a height. What do you think, GitHub Copilot? Yep. What else? Guess we should do the scale canvas stuff. We'll get to that later. Do projection. Well, we don't need it. We'll just use this. Only mount. All right, we'll set map projection. Excuse me. Projection. Yo, that's pretty fucking good, dude. Not bad. I don't know about this translate thing. The scale's pretty cool. And I definitely wanted to use Geo Albers. You say it's so insistent. It's like, no, I think it's a good idea. Let's do the translate thing. We might even not do that. What about fit size? Do you know about fit size? Ooh, yeah. You do? Oh, look at you. Ooh. What a fun little robot. Great stuff. Oh, all right, nobody's watching me code with my robot. That makes total sense to me. So we got our canvas, blah, blah, blah. We got our projection. Path equals p3.geo path. Stop projection. I wanted to do it wrong. It almost knew what we wanted to do, but it wanted to do it wrong. Does this in a funky way. It does it in the zoom. I don't know if I want to do it that way yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull stuff out of this, I think. Oh, I didn't make shapes with data yet. I need to do that. Census shapes with data. I'll make that unmounted by binding these two together. So I have to wait for these both to exist, and then I do cool stuff, which will be a fun experiment. All right, so draw demographic map path. All seems good. much right, yeah. You like. Hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, got a few errors. What's the problem? Oh, I forgot a comma. I make the width and a height that I never use. I guess I need this stuff for what setting. Width, height. Don't need it here though. I don't think. I already have that. But we never use context. All right, I believe you. Oh, I'd love for things to show up on the page. That's what we're really looking for. Also logging a bunch of data, classic. I'd probably never call these functions also, so that's pretty cool. Should I just paper multiple promises JavaScript. Cool, promises.all. Love it. Do promise.all. Boundary request, census data request, and then got a thing. Once it's all done, then we you know what? Not a terrible idea, but not exactly what I want to do. But it's kind of very close to what I want to do. It's always adding. It doesn't understand ES6 though. It seems like it's always adding an extra end, despite the lack of need for that. I guess we don't ever use values, which is fine. One size too big. Let's just see if my promises.all works in the way I expect it to. It may or may not. This adds census data to census shapes. No, that's valid. I should make a function that has that name. Add census shapes. Shapes and boundaries loaded. Threes and Download draft. We do whatever processing we do to make that match. How I probably shape the beta. How do I do it? This is great. Putting our shapes and our boundaries, and then we're putting them all together. What do we put them all together into? This dot census shapes with data. Yes, great. It's cool how the robot sort of learns what your vibe is, what you want to name things. Seems like it's a while to load, huh? Not always a great sign. Lunchtime soon. That's what the phone says. It says you gotta eat lunch. It shouldn't be taking this long. Fucking something up at some point. Have geocode? Yeah. I keep reading CT as Connecticut, but it's really for census tract. This isn't working. Just quit Chrome and try again. There we go. So freezy. I think part of this is because I filtered down the data observable notebook to only New York before I did this binding. That made it a lot faster. Filtered census tract data. How did I do that? Ooh, fun. So let's see, census tract. I just added that filter to the data. Maybe that'll be less effort intensive on the part of the browser. It seems better already. We have a nice data filters not. What the fuck is data then? What? Oh, here it is. Dot filter. Oh, you do dot features. Uh, I wish I would love um I would love a plugin that just commented out all of the active console logs in your file. Is that a VS Code plugin? VS Code comment out all console logs. That'll be fine. Cool trick. Oh, it's not that cool. Turbo console log. Oh, wow. View extensions. Turbo console log. Why are there so many? Terrifying. Why are there so many by so many different people? I don't like it at all. All right. All right. Sketchy diversion. No more. They're still dogs. All right. Because GitHub Copilot auto-wrote them for me, so they're everywhere. So request. Oh, well, we got some people hanging out. How come I can't see? I see there's chat. How come I can't see the chats if there's chats? Not cool. What's that all about? What's that all about? Maybe I'll pop the chat back. Store chat. Yeah, what the fuck, man? Live chat, all messages. I don't know. If you go to the page, can you see them? Not all about. No. Weird. I don't like that. It's like half the fun. It's like having a little chat you can talk to. Able to hang out with your friends. People around? No. Let's pop this back out. Put it back down here. So we have all our data bound, which is like a little bit of an accomplishment. We look on our map. Placement. So we have our active state census tracks. I don't know why that is empty. I don't think I ever used that. We don't have census shape data active state. Oh, maybe this filter isn't working the way I expected it to. You just make it the data that boundary request returns. It should show up properly. active state census tracks. Great. And it has a bunch of features inside it, and CRS is useful. It has a bunch of features inside it, but we want to filter those features. Okay, so then it's not the active state census tracks. That's just this dot census tracks. Yeah. And then when it's all done, we'll do the filter. We'll do boundary. No, we're not going to do this census tracks dot features. I don't need to break. Okay. String. And then we'll do. And we have like a filtered data. Oh yeah, active state census tracks. This dot census tracks filtered. Great. So then we can follow the whole way through. Let's talk through the data that we're working with again. I don't know if I'm in love with these variable names, but you do what you got to do. Okay, so we have our active state census tracks, census data. That's a terrible name for a thing. Active state census tracks data. It's a little better. Let's add some comments. This is insanity. And let's pull this URL thing. Oh. Trio JSON shape boundaries for New York. Yep. It's good. You know? That's right. I feel like no, that's all good. Boundary request. And then we're gonna load census data for all census tracts in the US. And then boundary. Wow, yeah, that's cool. It's cool. It's cool that I can write comments as well as it writes code. Wow, I've written code for a long time, and it's a very different experience to write it with GitHub Copilot. It's kind of wild. Definitely enjoying it though. I'm definitely enjoying it. I definitely recommend it. Index. Okay, yeah. I think I should put this. It kind of doesn't make sense to do all these things. More commenting. Filter down on census tracks. Just the active state. And find the census boundaries to data. And draw the map to the units. It's truly great stuff. I might take another break in 3 minutes. I love my little hourly breaks. You know what I mean? You can't code too long. Gotta get up and walk around. I might, when I come back, I might put the standing desk in standing mode. Really embrace the good life. I need to leave it in a place where I can jump back in really easily, and I'm not there yet. Because I don't have census shapes with data, and I don't have active state census tracks, which means that my filter is not working. I have an object. Active state census tracts data. So this census tract. How come I won't do that? So when they're all done, uncomment that shapes and boundaries are loaded, and then do active state census tracts is the filtered. But it's active state census tracts is empty. I already bind it to active state, even though that's not right. It's just census tracts. Errors. Cannot read properly. Yes, that's census tract. What? There's like emergency vehicles going by outside. All right. So it's complaining because it can't read a filter of this.census tracts because there is no this.census tracts. I don't think I ever. No, I did. So and then we do our boundary request. Okay. What do we make it the data? What did we call that before? Oh my god, I'm a dummy. Active state census tracts data. We're just gonna call that census. I've made too many variables. I'm gonna need to trim this down. And the key difference here is that this is active state census tracts data, which is like New York, which is what I want. But right now, it's not just the active state; it's every census tract data. So that's not really the correct way to talk about it. It's the census tracts data, and then I'm going to filter it down to census tracts data. I don't know if it's dot features, but whatever. That'll work. Census tracts. These are all right. We're not getting errors. What does our data look like? We have no active state census tracts. We have no census shapes with data. We have census tracts, and we have census tracts data. I don't know what census shapes with data is. Shapes data. I guess that's the combined census shapes. That's right. So census tracts and census tracts data become census shapes with data. All right. Loaded census tract boundaries. Loaded census tract demographic data. Census tract boundaries for active state. Right? Census shapes with data. Census boundaries with demographic data. Found for them, love it. Raw XML string for the data. This is our pre-projection. Level, right? And oh, smart, so smart. GitHub Copilot, really killing it. How come my chat doesn't work? Really frustrating. I left a bunch of comments. We're sort of in a good spot. I'm going to take another break for a minute. I'll be back. I'll be back soon. Here we go.
What's my past? What's my past? What's my past?
Right, I'm back. I realize I'm really kind of stretched the limits of the phrase "be right back," but there's nobody watching anyway. But I appreciate the fact if there were people watching, it'd be very frustrating. But you know, whatever. Let me clarify. I needed this delicious salad. Or can you see how delicious it looks? Look at the nice arrangement. I needed my delicious salad. We'll get to that. More importantly, I needed my juice with sea moss. I have some vitamins I need to take. And then I'll really be kicking in high gear. Very exciting. All right. So I have a podcast playing in my ear. I'll put that on back. Basically, what we're trying to do is make things show up on the map. Good thing I left these sick comments. Data items. I feel like we're real freaking close. Drawing stuff on the map. I bet that we need to use our refs at some point, though. Canvas. Oh, we already did. Already ahead of the game. So let's see. Now it's good. Let's just draw on the subject of making things show up on the screen. Let's just really cut to the chase. Draw a rectangle. Come on. Here. Yes. Yes. I like that it made it commented. That's fun. Oh. Yay, it works. So we are capable of drawing a rectangle, which is good to know, but we are not yet capable of drawing a map. And that's really where the fun starts. And the reason is because we're supposed to be drawing a path for each active state census tract. However, there is no active state census tracts. Because my filter is not working. Census tracts data. Yeah, what's up with that? Oh, because they don't have state. Shit. All right. This is a problem in here. So when I was trimming out my columns that I needed, I thought I only needed GIS join, geocode, and then my U7B variables, but I also need state. Great. Census tracts data. Do they have state? Yeah, they do. Great. Census tracts. Active state census tracts. Why is it still empty? Census tracts data filter. Turn D dot state all caps. Equals New York. Huh. Well, that should be working. Right? There's got to be a New York one. So many Alabama. Huh. Foam milkshake, thank you break. I mean, you can filter an array, right? Yeah, you can. I'm like returning. Yeah, so that all makes sense. So shapes and data are loaded. And then this active state census tracts tries to happen. Jesus. This is Now I'm just used to how good GitHub Copilot is. It's like, that's correct. Yep. Can I get the view and the console? Goodness. So it has stuff. So it should be able to filter D and then D dot state. All right, well, fuck it. Let's just do the filter and console log the filter, right? Clearly it's going to be empty, because if it wasn't empty, then everything else would be working. Maybe we're just complete morons. Yeah, it is empty. Why am I just can't filter things? What about Alabama? Can I filter things to Alabama? I can filter things to Alabama? Well, that begs the question what you call things from New York, and also why it's different from Notebook. Does it have other states? Does it have Alaska? Bigger. So I guess we're going to get a lot of Alaska census tracts. Wow. And what if I want, say I want, what does the CSV look like? How much Alabama? So, what did places with spaces look like? Places with spaces. All right, this is done. Can we grep? Is that the right way to do this? Grep. New York? Can you do that? There's nothing in there. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And there's so much Alaska, so I somehow have all of the data for everything except for the one place that I need it. Is that what I'm understanding? What about in the untrimmed data? I look for New York in there. New York. Oh, so it is in there? Bro. What about New Jersey? I won't feel so bad if New Jersey's also missing. Let's look at the trim data. Trim data. New Jersey. New Jersey. Jersey. Why? Why though? But somehow it's every state except for New York. That's what I'm about to understand. Is that somehow I trimmed out all? Doesn't seem right at all. Let's look at the command I'm running to trim. Do you think UTF-8 is having the only thing? Should we just do it by hand for a second? Maybe that'll be better. Let's see. Open the untrimmed one. I'm gonna break numbers, I swear to God. So where is it trying to open it? It's gonna freak out. Got distracted taking my vitamins. So we loaded our file. Let's just filter it down. Yeah, filter. We just want to filter it down to New York. Quick filter. We select all. Now nothing shows up, and we select New York. That's what we want. So let's make our little New York CSV. I don't know why it's not pulling it out. It's so crazy. All right, desktop. Who am I working for today? Earthrise, wind pollution, public, data, census tract, New York. I think that'll work in the way I want. It may or may not export the filter. We'll see what happens. We're still just trying to make a map show up. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. We're like on like hour 25 or what? Damn, 2.5 hours. Anybody in the chat? No, nobody's hanging out. It's just me. Just me. You know, standard stuff. Check out Twitter. Check out Twitter, all the CSV saves. Oh yeah, get those notifications. Sweet, sweet notifications. All right, let's see. Those are New York one. I have New York in it. The fuck, it has an Alabama in it. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to just get out of here. Useless. So let's see. Can you export with filtered? Yeah, export filtered data. CVS, that's funny. Hi, Pamela. Numbers does export the whole file in every case, so you need to arrange a whole file and only the data you want to export. What the fuck? It just wants me to put it all in my clipboard. That's the answer. I have to. Oh, maybe I just have to select it in notes. Maybe New York. Oh, I forgot to open a new blank numbers document. Fuck, this is gonna work. New. Doing this with my clipboard. Great. All right, so now we have our New York only CSV, not CVS file, our New York only CSV file, which we will then trim down. First, one thing at a time. All right, clear our minds. So first of all, let's look at the New York version. It's full of New York things. That's exactly what we want. And we had that command before, long ago. Cut it to just the things we cared about. However, we were doing it on the whole country. Let's just do it with New York. And then let's look at what that looks like. It's full of New York things. Maybe our fucking app will work now. Sorry I got this weird tone. I don't know where that came from. All right, we still can't filter things. What are you talking about? Demographic. Okay. 82, you say? Oh, it's definitely not where that is. I guess it is. State census tracts. That's true. That doesn't exist. The census tracts data. Well, do you have census tracts data? Whoa, my goodness. Well, you don't. You don't have census tracts data yet? Like at the time you need it or ever? Oh no, you have it, just not at the time you need it. Fuck is that all about? I guess I've been assuming that these thens happen, but maybe that was a stupid idea. All right, this is an interesting way of doing it. So we do this dot census tracks boundaries, and then we'll do this dot data census data. Then we'll get rid of these thens. Just be that stupid. This is the way to go about it. Just wait for everything to finish and then do it all at once. Gangster. I have still more vitamins to. Okay. This doesn't seem right. Census tracks is an array with two things. Again, promise all. I don't know how it works. I guess soul.log. Yes. Census. Let's just see what we get through. I'm trying to grab it in the wrong way. Oh. That's right. Copilot. Very smart. This one? Yes, that's very correct. So smart. Imagine if you had a puppy that could code and it just hangs out with you. It's fucking cool, dude. To it. I wish it was more personified, though. Just filter trying to. All right, ooh, we have active state census tracks. Not active state census tracks data. We're getting closer. We're slowly taking our vitamins. Action outside on the street, out my window. Oh, that's real fun. Oh, do some small stretches. Take a phone breakers for a second. On the phone. So we're making progress. So do we have census tracks? We have census tracks data. That's fine. The shapes with data. Active state census tracks data is empty. Active state. Oh, that's a lot of words. Active state census tracks. Nothing ever gets sent to it. Because I'm still trying to filter down census tracks data to things with d.state New York. So, is there, what the fuck? Oh my god, no. I'm trying to copy this. It's not New York. Get this Alaska thing. This active state census tracks. Where I have it. All New York thing. Well, yeah, it's all New York stuff. Everybody's very happy. Oh, but it's the wrong thing. I named my variables. So this should be the boundaries. All right, we don't need to do this filter anyway. It's kind of dumb. Now it's trying to map something I can't map. Different kind of map. Mm. All coming together. So there is no active state. That makes sense. Sense shapes. Yep. Mm. Dropping my bike. It's not cool. It's a cool way to hang out. I make progress in my life, showing a professional. I'm dropping my vitamins on the floor. But you know what? Still gotta take them. Because you drop them on the floor doesn't mean you don't gotta take them. Why is hot reload not working? There's no boundary. Shake the salad. This is important. We're gonna try and shake the salad around enough to get the dressing everywhere. It's really an art, not science, you know. Do it best. The problem with things always flying out when I try and do this maneuver. Yeah, see? Shake it around. Great. Important. I don't want to fuck that part up. So let me try to remember how fit size works. Okay, so it should be a feature collection. So when we fit size, what do we fit size with? This dot boundaries? Is this dot boundaries a feature collection? It is. I'm fucking killing it. So where's projection? It's null. What the I never call set map projection. I should probably be in draw demographic map. How do you turn npm serve this is enabled out of the box. Hot reload not working. How about that? DevTools has crashed. Never could say. All right, I gotta fix my serve. Let's see. Get JSON. Great. I guess we're gonna quit Chrome because Vue DevTools gave up. Eating is an important part of being human. Can't hide it. All right, so we should have a projection now, and we do. Beautiful. This is in the wrong order, I think. Ooh, big honking on Main Street. Oh, so yeah, it does look like we bound things properly in census shapes with data, though, so that's nice. So census shapes with data, the 4 each should be working. Shapes with data. Yeah, has geometry and properties. I bet my fit size isn't working. No, no, it should be 600, yeah. See? So canvas and refs and view. Got it. It's width 10. I mean, almost. Just make sure everything's working right and draw our pink rectangle just to make ourselves feel better real quick. We're not even getting them pink rectangle, which is a bad sign. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, great. This is kind of a dumb way to do this. This is kind of weird. Like, we should be seeing some lines at this point. And yep, as we all know, we all can see with our own eyes. See any lines? I don't see much of anything at all, except for the borders on my canvases, my canvi. Be more dressing on my salad will help fix things. Big stuff in the high gear, you know. Pretty good dressing. Um, what else could you possibly need? So we could console log the path. That doesn't make a ton of sense though. Yeah, so now that I know it should be working and it isn't, it's going to console log out everything. Figure out where the hang. It's like plumbing. Figure out where the leak doesn't go through. All right, it's like drawing a million lines. Let's go back to our observable notebook. Ooh, you got to add a context. I just want to see some lines. Show me some lines, please. Useless. It's Bill. Bill color pink. So I'm talking about. Really riveting, I know. To get my lines to show up, we can celebrate and be out of here. Live our lives. So path D is undefined. Well, what's path in that context? And what's path in my other context? Path D3 geopath with the projection, D with the context. Mm-hmm. It's not getting anything back for path D. That's kind of weird. Path is defined. Let's just take the fit size out and see what happens. It'd be easier if it was SVG and I could inspect it, like figure out what was wrong exactly, but it's Canvas, so it either like shows up or it doesn't. So you gotta track it down on the data side. Kind of like debugging blind a little bit. Or at least I have my salad. I'm much better with my salad. All right, I refuse to give up. I refuse to give up before I get something to show up, even though it's very tempting. Because I've been at this for a little bit, and I feel the need to change my venue, get a new perspective. Change the projection. Maybe that's part of my problem. I can't imagine how. Like, let's show the whole world and see if anything shows up. Yeah, so it's got latitude and longitude coordinates, boundary, boundary. Everything's looking like it should, except for the lack of any line showing up. Makes me feel like I'm doing something real stupid. Give the lines a good width, color. I did. It's kind of weird. Do we have a canvas? We do have a context. Fucking weird, dude. Not a single thing showing up, man. There's got to be something wrong with path, right? And the only thing it uses. I just set map projection. That's fucking weird. Craft view dev tools. Things pointing out, taking a little break. I'll be back on later. Probably a little later tonight. Try and get this drawing stuff. All the things are in place. Everything is ready for me to like find